As one of the world's most favorite musicals, Cats was composed by Andrew Lloyd Webber and based on a poem by T.S. Eliot. It debuted in 1981 in London and has since been performed in 26 different countries and in 300 different cities. Over 73 million people have attended the show. It's been translated into more than 20 languages. Now the Chinese version of Cats is on stage at the Shanghai Grand Theatre.
Welcome to Culture Matters. All right, memory from Cats. How many of you guys have seen Cats before? The musical. Actually in the theater. Not on DVD, not on TV, not listening to tape. Anybody? Okay, could you share with us, like, where did you see the production?
A few years ago in London.
Okay. Only once, or you see
Yes,
it
only once.
So what about you?
Once in London as well,
Okay.
many years ago.
Many years ago. Last year, Mamma Mia came to Shanghai and performed its Chinese debut in Shanghai. And this year, in August, we're going to have the Chinese version of Cats. Debut is 1981, okay, and it's been played in 26 different countries, 300 different cities, with something like 73 million of people have seen it. And now it's coming to Shanghai. It's going to be performed in the Chinese language, singing in the Chinese songs, okay? So today we invited some of the cast members from Cats, as well as the director, the costume director, as well as the choreographer, to share about what it's like to bring Cats to Shanghai. All right? So let's welcome Avita and Ken, and they're the two main players in the Cats show. Let's welcome them. Hello. Thanks for joining us.
Avita Chen was once a professional pop singer who participated in a series of singing reality shows. She then went on to the Royal Scottish Academy of Music to further her studies in musical theatre. With her beautiful and strong voice, she now plays the role of Jenny Anydots in the Chinese version of Cats. Ken Du, who plays Mr. Mistopheles, was a dancer with the New Zealand modern dance crew, as well as a former dancer in the Four Seasons musical.
Okay, so you guys actually studied abroad and also worked abroad.
Yes,
so
we did.
this time you decided to come back to Shanghai and join Cats, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard that there's some really interesting stories about going through the audition. Like Avita, I heard that. Was it something that you heard about the news and you just decided to jump up to the chance, or?
I was touring with Avenue Q in UK at that time in 2011. Then one of the producers from our company that introduced that release for group is doing a Chinese versions of Cats in China. So I should really give it a go. So that's why I've got this information from him, and obviously that's my homeland.
Ken, what about you? What's your story? Where were you before Shanghai? Right
I
before
was
this?
living in New Zealand, before I come back. And after graduated last year, end of last year, then I got an offer from a company called Black Grace,
Okay.
the leading camera company.
Okay.
And then I went touring to Germany, and then a few of my friends, they contact me, says that China gonna doing a Chinese version of Cats. Because before I went to Black Grace,
Right.
I work in Siki Theatre Company, a big music company in Asian countries in Japan. Because I did Cats before in Japanese version.
In Japanese version.
So they think I'm interesting. Then they called me. Then I because I was a bit confused because I only have 2 days before I come back.
You had 2 days to decide?
Yeah,
To
I
decide
just
to
finished
join
my
audition?
touring.
Oh.
Then I called my mom, say should I come back or not because I don't have any money left at the end. She thinks you should come back.
Really? But what is this thing about musical that is so attractive to you? Because I think, Avita, your case, you started with singing more pop music, and you joined these like special talent contests, something called the Supergirl Grand Youth
Voice.
Singer Contest in Dream China. So you kind of did a switch from doing the pop music genre to musical.
Because I love singing, I love dancing, I love performing on stage. My first experience on stage was since I was age 5. So doing something related with music is always going to be one of my aim, my life. Studying pop singing is just something to do with singing, but I love dancing, I love acting. And then I find out musical theatre is the only one kind of one type of performance that related to all these 3 elements together.
Well, what was the first musical that you watched, and how old were you at the time?
It was definitely Cats.
Cats?
Yeah,
Really?
in the middle school when I was age 13 or 14.
Okay.
In the music lesson, so the teacher played one of the DVD and disc. Unfortunately, we don't have the live musical performance in China.
And Ken, did you major more in dance or music or both? Why musical for you?
I think music is like more way, like for me, for dancing it's just like one way, use your body language and to show what's inside. But for music you have so much different ways, like acting, singing, like stage, like so many different ways, and it's more fun, more interesting.
So for the audition, right, you guys heard about the news and decided to give it a shot, and you have very little time to prepare. Usually how long does it take you to be fully prepared, or you feel prepared for an audition?
We have, well, as a professional performer,
Depends like what they ask.
Okay.
Ready all the time, because I believe Kane or whoever, one of my colleagues or my friends who's involved with musical theatre industry, we have a repertoire, and then we have agents, because in UK we have agents. Then you have certain different type of songs or type of monologue or dance that you can show, because you never know when is the auditions come up, because the chances is only waiting for who's ready.
Okay. Yeah. So before you went into auditions, was there a particular role that you preferred or wished that you could get? Which role did you play in Tokyo?
In Yeah, Miss Sun Felix, that's the role I did this time.
So the magic cat? Yeah. Okay. And which one did you prefer?
Me personally, my favorite roles was Bon Ballerina, which is the sexy cat, and Grisabella, because she sings a lot, and obviously Memory is one of the biggest song. But I wasn't looking for Grisabella this role, because usually this role is played by someone who's quite mature, like someone who's over 35 or above.
They do take that into consideration when they do auditions. They would actually try to match the age of the character and the age of the actor and actress.
The way they work in UK is they do sort of looking into the age of your playing. Right. My playing age is kind of blocking under 30.
Oh, sexy cat.
She's not very old, but she requires strong ballet technique. But I haven't been through that.
I think that's a difficult thing about musical, which is you have to pretty much multitask. You have to dance, you have to act, you have to sing, right? But
at the same time.
At the same time, right? But I'm sure each and every one of you probably is a little bit stronger, feel more comfortable in one particular role. Like in your case, is it more singing and acting than dancing?
For Jenny and Dodds, I think acting and dance. Yeah.
And what about you? You feel more comfortable with dancing?
Dancing, I think.
Because Magic Cat doesn't actually speak.
No.
Right? And he doesn't actually say anything.
No, they
mute, right? Yeah. So a lot of all of your emotions and expressions have to come from the body.
Yeah, actually it's much harder.
Speaking of dancing, I know that you do tap dancing in the musical this time.
Yeah, one of her number in the show is do the tap dance, and leading to all of cockroaches, beetles, and...
Yeah, can you actually introduce the character a little bit? So who is Gumby Cat? Okay, what is her characteristic?
Her personality is pretty much very warm and very nice, mature cat, and she's usually taking care of all the kittens.
But that's why she's also called a nursery cat.
Yeah,
right.
She's usually very happy, so then you can see her makeup as a cat. It's always a happy face. She's always smiling, and she always try to sort out the problems and try to put bits and bobs together, try to organize things.
What about your role, the Magic Cat?
He's mischievous and very naughty ones.
Naughty?
And doing a lot of magic.
So did you have to learn magic tricks?
Yeah.
A little bit? Yeah?
The fake ones.
So you have to kind of dance it out, act it out as if it's magic. Yeah. If it's possible, show us a little bit of the tap dancing today. Yeah, I think our audience, we have a huge audience member here today, and then that's your stage, okay? The shoes, they seem quite heavy,
pretty.
are they? Are they heavy?
They're okay. They're okay.
Did you learn tap dance before, or you had to kind of learn for this particular cast this show?
Not really.
Okay. So how long has it been that you started learning tap
Yeah,
dancing?
I had one lesson as a tap dance when I was studying in Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, and it's really like instructions of tap dance that just introduce you what is tap dance and
Very basic.
very basic.
She's really
calling.
working really hard. She always stay at the studio until like 9 o'clock just practice.
Well, I mean, Sharon and Stephen and Joanne, they're all working very hard to try to help me to get the characters first, because I was so irritated with, because sometimes you need to separate your brains. All the bits you hear is not your foot making it. You have to relax it, but you have to make your brains control it. So it's a bit of like learning drums, if anyone played drums before.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
so
very
they've
good
been very
analogy.
patient to try to teach me and help me out.
Now, Kendall, I know that you're playing the magic cat, mute and cannot speak and don't sing. So you have to put in a lot more effort on maybe facial expressions
Yes.
and poses. And is it possible to also ask you to show us a little bit, the special characteristics of this role that you're playing?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure. Like for example, in my solo, one movement I find really interesting. Like because he has a costume and it's all black, but his hand is white. So
And what about your face? Was the face
it's white.
White.
As well.
Okay.
So one moment he's like doing this movement, and then he doing this. But Joanne said you need at the same time in your mind you should say I want doing magic, but not yet. It's like really not mischievous.
Show us a few more.
Because cats keep your spin, so you spin your scent, spray your scent. So we have a lot of movements like this kind of
Oh,
movement.
so that represents that movement.
Yeah, I have like hat on, so I have lots of like this kind of movement. So it's like really gentleman, like God is a magician.
Ah, okay, very good. I know that Vida, you worked in the UK in particular. You studied there and you participated in various performances there. And for you spent 3 years in Japan, working with the Shiki theater. What are some of the differences between working abroad in the UK or Japan versus working here in China now?
Because in Japan they've done for many years already, so the person did before you, so when they teach you, they want you doing exactly
the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this time, because we're the first cast as Chinese version of cast, so John asked us to more creative your
Style.
character. Yes.
Oh, okay. What about the UK?
First thing is that working abroad in the UK, obviously that's the birthplace for musical theatre. There's a lots of fun and lots of things to explore, but there's nothing that you can feel that working at home. Because working in China
Is it because of the teamwork of people?
the teamwork is great. I mean, well, it doesn't mean everyone's not good in UK. They're all working very hard, but we're a real family. Everyone help out each other, and at least 2/3 of us we stay after the whole day rehearsal. After 8 hours, we still practice together. And some of the movements, I'm not sure. I'm concerned, and Ken will help me out, and I'll help somebody out, and then in the end we rehearse together.
So you feel like there's a special kind of bonding and then developing a closer relationship among, the
Exactly.
cast members. What about the part about, actually singing the songs in Chinese now?
For the way of your feelings, I think is definitely easier for us to receive the information, to feel. But for the culture-wise, obviously, Cats is still talking about English cultures of all the in society.
Right.
So in that case, it's a bit hard for us, and everyone's very familiar with the English version. When they audition for Cats, I believe they sing in English as well.
Right.
So a little bit awkward for us to sing it in Chinese. But me personally, I think some of the songs, when it translates into Chinese language has this amazing texture of the context of itself. So some of the songs I didn't find that attractive before, but when you sing it in Chinese, you have different feelings.
I'm dying to see how Cats can be turned into Chinese. Would you like to pick a song and sing for us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Christopher Jones，他不分苗条，你该说他有点肥胖。 他不爱跑吧，但他常去沙龙，还出现在白金汉宫。当他走在街头，你要向他问候，看那黑大衣高贵庄重。他着装的品味从来都最完美，连背影都与众不同。在那伦敦名流中，他最是风光，这个名字有多么响亮。当他向你问好，你要感到自豪，看那黑西装发色反正。谢谢。
Okay, we're going to take a short break, and after the break, we're going to invite a director to come up and share us more about how they made this production possible. All right, so stay with us.
When I was first asked to do cats, I went, I like dogs.
3 or 4 of our colleagues starting to raise a cat.
You go home and you go, I didn't know I had a muscle there.